All right, this is my review for Knives Out, the Wake Up Dead Man. This is the end of the trilogy of Knives Out. I'm pretty sure it's the end. But I will say I wouldn't be mad if they wanted to make more of these. Maybe with a lower budget, I would not be mad about that. I heard there's a series called Poker Face, which is similar to the theme of finding out crimes and stuff. I haven't watched it yet, but that's what I've heard. So maybe I'll check that out if I want more of this kind of whodunit kind of deal. But what I'll say is I did enjoy it. The original I would say is always gonna be the best. The Knives Out is just really good. I feel like I want to rewatch that now. But the Wake Up Dead Man, I got a chance to see it in the theater, so that was pretty awesome. And what I will say is that I think out of all three of them, this was the most interesting story, is what I'll say. The most interesting story. Like the first one is interesting too, but this whole idea of like, they're sending a basically a pastor in training. They're sending him somewhere to, watch over to see if he's basically going to watch over someone else, watch over a priest, and kind of like be the eyes and ears of the church, and trying to see what's going on, and also, maybe he'll have his own church one day. So there's a lot of story beats that are very interesting about this. And one thing I would like to say too, if you haven't seen the movie yet, if you're looking for Daniel Craig, he won't be in this movie for about maybe an hour and 10 minutes. So that was fine. I actually loved the whole first hour. The whole first hour of the movie, I was loving it. I was like, wow, this is good. I didn't forget about Daniel Craig, but I knew he wasn't there. But I was like, this movie just so good. Like that, I was loving the setup. The setup was so well done that when Daniel Craig showed up, I was like, okay, all right, let's get into it now. And that was pretty good. Scene when he came on the scene, it was good. But I like the setup. I like the setup so much in this, and I think that's why I think this might be one of my favorites out of the trilogy. The only reason it wouldn't be my official favorite out of all the trilogy is because I feel like the way it wraps up, the way it actually concludes, I feel like this movie is a little bit too long, and all of them are pretty long. But it's just like this movie, it feels like it ends a few times, and then there's another thing they patch on, and another thing they patch on, and they normally do that in all the movies. But in this movie, it just felt like once it got to the reveal, it was like too long. Like I feel like they should have. I still enjoyed it, but I feel like that's why I feel like Knives Out, the first one, is the way it wraps up is perfect, and it just like the perfect amount of time. It just feels perfect. So this one, I will say, like I said, I enjoyed it a lot. I do recommend checking it out in the theaters if you can. It's still in the theaters right now. I've seen it in a few theaters, and if you look up, just look up Wake Up Dead Man to see where it's showing. Hopefully it's not too far away. I would recommend checking it out in the theater if you can, especially since it's pretty long, so you can really like kind of be engrossed in the whole details of the whole film. But I enjoyed it. Other thing I will say is the characters. The characters in this film were very interesting. This was the first Knives Out Knives Out movie that I seen where I really didn't know. Like I thought I knew, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of right with one of my guesses, but it wasn't what I thought. It didn't turn out the way I thought it was gonna be. Like it was one of the people that I thought it might be, but not in the way. The way it unfolded was not in the way I thought it was gonna unfold. So I still like that it still had surprises even when the things was unraveling, So I enjoyed that. And also the reason why it's so hard to kind of tell about who it really is because there's so many famous people in these films. And I think that's why it's kind of like misdirection, because I'm like, oh, that person's so famous. Oh, this up and comer, she's been up and coming so much. Maybe it's her. And it makes you think, who is it? Because the cast is so stacked. I think might be like, obviously all of them have stacked casts, but I think this is the first one I watched where I was really like, this cast might be one of the best casts like out of all of them. I gotta go back and look at the cast for real, but cast is definitely up there with like one of the best casts of all of them. And the cast is so strong that I didn't know. I'm like, is it this famous person? Is it this great actor or this great actress? I had no idea. But I still had an inkling, and that inkling was right. But it wasn't right in the way I thought. It didn't unfold in the way I thought, so I did still enjoy it. What I do think is that, I don't know, I'm in love with the setup of this world. And all I will say is that one of the priests, he used to be a boxer. That's what I'll say. I like that small element because it's like, this guy, like he can take out anyone he wants pretty much, but he's just trying not to be a fighter. He's trying to be on a straight and narrow, and he's trying to, save people with this. not this. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the movie, but it's interesting. I think his character was the thing that I loved the most about the movie. And like I said, Daniel Craig is good. He's very good, but I realized that he's really in service of the story. He's a great detective in service of the real mystery at the center of these films. And when he wasn't there for the hour, I was like, wow, like I'm really loving this movie anyways. And when he popped up, like I said, he's good, but I didn't expect him not to be in the movie for an hour. And like I said, I have no qualms about it. I did still enjoy the movie. I just wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to be there. And I think that, I don't know. I think the setup was so good, and then the reveal was good too, but it just wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. Like I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and I would watch it again. But I just think that's a little too long. But I would watch it again. I had fun with it, and just to kind of see certain things, just to kind of see certain smiles and certain people giving themselves away. Since I already know the ending now, that's why I would like to probably watch it again. You could probably say that with all the Knives Out. You could probably go from the beginning, and if they directed it well, you'll be able to see certain tells from certain characters. So that's why I like movies like this, especially on a rewatch. But I gotta say, trying to think about any standout. The standout was really the priest, the main character. The priest is. If you guys ever seen the movie Challengers, I might do a review on that because I really love Challengers. I saw that movie and I loved it so much. And it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, but I loved it so much. Actually, I guess it was what I thought it was gonna be, but I would recommend if you haven't seen Challengers, check it out. One of the main guys is in this film, I forgot his name, but he's inside of Challengers. He's one of the main characters. But I think he shines, and I want to see more from him. But other than that, I did enjoy myself. I would just say check it out. I'm trying to think about if there's anything I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think, like I said, Daniel Craig was good. It's just crazy because that first hour I think was the best part of the movie. He wasn't in it, and I love Daniel Craig, but that first hour, the setup is so strong, and all the actors, you're gonna introduce all these great actors and this great storyline behind bringing in the church and trying to figure out what's going on in this town, and then hearing everyone's backstory. It was very interesting. So I think that's the big strength of the film, is the actual story here. I think the story is the saving grace, in this town, and it feels. I just like it. It just feels so real. Anyways, if I had to do this on an out of 5 stars, and I don't always rate every movie. That's what I realized when I was thinking of my reviews. I don't always put my stars in it, and I realized most of the times that I don't put stars, it's because I really liked it and I don't even think about it. But if I had to, if someone asked me out of 5 stars, I had to give this out of 5 stars, I would give this a solid 4 out of 5. I would give a solid 4 out of 5. Like I said, just a little bit too long on the end, but I really did enjoy it. And other than that, I'm trying to think about something else. I'm gonna say that I think that if this is the last one, I'm sure this is the last one. I'm pretty sure they said they were gonna do 3 and that's it. But if this is the last one, I think that they should have done some type of send-off, some type of, something where like you see like all 3 movies, or I don't know. It's not. I know it's not like James Bond or something, but it's funny I'm saying that because Daniel Craig played James Bond. But what I'm saying is, if this is the last one, it didn't really feel like the last one. It just felt like another chapter in the story. So if they are gonna make more, I would be happy if they were to do like 2 more. I would not be mad at it. Just make it less budget, I guess. But I enjoyed it, and I'm not gonna lie, selfishly, I want more. I would like them to continue this. Like, this is not like Fast and Furious with Daniel Craig's body, he's like, he has to jump over buildings and stuff, or James Bond. Like, make more. Don't give me no excuses. Like, if you can make a good story, I would say make like 3 more of these. I would not mind 10 of these movies. I like these movies, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, obviously, these actors, maybe that's why the budgets is so big, but I feel like now that they build this brand so much, maybe they can raise the money, or maybe they can bring the budget down a little bit. Because I feel like, I don't know what the budget on this was, but when you look at these actors, you know they gotta get paid. And obviously when it's shot in these beautiful locations and things like that, and you could tell that the person making this loves making these movies. And I would like them to continue, so hopefully this isn't the last one. But I enjoyed it for sure. So, but like I said, if you're going in for Daniel Craig, just remember, He doesn't show up for like about an hour and 10 minutes, but the setup of this film is so good. You're so in love with the story, at least I was, and this priest and his journey, that I didn't even really care about Daniel Craig. When he showed up, I cared about him, but I was not even thinking about it. I was watching, just loving the story of this priest and watching his journey. But check it out if you want. It's Dejo Know the Name, spread love and light. And this has been my review for Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out. Hopefully you got one more. I would like them to continue. And let's sign off with a knife, I guess.